Good, happy Sunday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, Milwaukee protests break out after police shooting. Angry crowd took to the street in Milwaukee on Saturday night to protest the shooting death of an armed man by a police officer hours earlier. Protesters burned several stores and threw rocks at police in the city's north side, leaving one officer injured. Smoke and orange flames filled the night sky. Overnight thunderstorms responsible for at least one house fire. At least one fire in Manchester was blamed on thunderstorms that moved through the state Saturday night. A home was struck by lightning just after 10 p.m. on Mammoth Road, officials said. New Hampshire man dies in fatal motorcycle crash in Pepperell, Massachusetts. A fatal motorcycle crash involving a 60-year-old Hollis man is under investigation in Pepperell, Massachusetts. The motorcycle was the only vehicle involved in the crash. Man assaults nephew with flashlight after argument, police say. A man was arrested following a domestic dispute call Sunday morning. Police discovered he had assaulted his nephew with a DeWalt flashlight after an argument, officials said. Norman Therian, 61, was driving away from the home in his vehicle when Hooksett police arrived on the scene around 12:30 a.m. Police were able to pull him over down the road, and Therian was arrested and charged with DWI. Six people rescued from sinking boat off Boston Island. 6 people were found clinging for their lives on to a boat off Castle Island in Boston overnight. The Coast Guard was called to a rescue mission around 1:30 a.m. Sunday. Officials say the boat was taking on water and sinking rapidly. Rescuers found 6 people holding on to the boat as it sank in Dorchester Bay. Officials say some of them were wearing life jackets, and they were able to rescue all of them. None of the passengers were injured, but the cause of the incident is under investigation. The Coast Guard will try to retrieve the boat. Manchester police investigate shot fired at first responders. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR.
Thank you. Developing in Manchester, police say someone fired a possible gunshot toward first responders in a parking lot early this morning.
And the police chief does believe that his officers were targeted. Right now, police are hoping someone can lead them to whoever this was. WMUR's Mike Cronin now joins us with details. Mike?
Around 2 o'clock this morning, first responders were treating an intoxicated person who had passed out right here in the Triangle Credit Union parking lot on Elm Street, and that's when police say someone fired a possible gunshot from those woods right across the road. There were 2 officers and 2 American Medical Response medics on scene. Police say they heard the gunshot when the round went over their heads. Fortunately, no one was injured. Officers searched the area with help from state police and K-9 units, but no suspect or evidence were found. Chief Nick Willard says they're certain the shot came from the wooded area next to a gas station, and he says this highlights the dangers first responders are facing across the country.
There were a group of individuals who were listening to the scanner and showing up at police officers' calls and harassing them. We don't know if it was, that sort of element that was out there and somebody took it too far.
No, our number one goal is the safety of our providers who want them all to go home safe at night, safe during the day, and we're very, very fortunate that nobody was injured.
And if you have any information that could help investigators, you're asked to call Manchester Police. Reporting live in Manchester, Mike Cronin, WMUR News.
Okay, and there you go on that report. More than 7,000 people rescued from submerged homes and cars in flooded Louisiana. Emergency workers in Louisiana have rescued more than 7,000 stranded residents from submerged homes and cars in wake of the historic flood that has left at least 3 people dead and 1 person missing, Governor John Bell Edwards said Sunday. More than 500 pets have also been rescued, he said. Ryan Lochte and other U.S. swimmers robbed by armed men in Rio. 4 members of the U.S. Olympics swimming team were robbed by armed men early Sunday morning in a taxi headed for the Olympic Village, according to the United States Olympic Committee. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Sunday night. Good night, everyone. Bye.